This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Happy Friday, and thanks for joining us here at noon. In for Elena today, I'm Chris Burton. The man who styled himself as a modern-day boogeyman, according to prosecutors, has been convicted of second-degree murder in the death of Bakersfield 3 member Micah Holsenbake. The jury deliberated for 3 days before reaching their verdict yesterday in the trial that started more than a month ago, but a case that's haunted Bakersfield for 4 years now. 17's Maddie Jansen has been covering the trial since the beginning, and she has more on yesterday's developments.
Matthew Richard Queen, not guilty of felony to wit, first-degree murder of Micah Holsenbake.
Matthew Queen found not guilty of first-degree murder, but instead convicted on the lesser charge of second-degree murder of Micah Holsenbake. The jury found Queen not guilty of torture and kidnapping in connection with Micah's death, prompting an audible gasp from the audience. But for Micah's family, the conviction is enough to help them sleep at night.
The story's not over, but this chapter is, so it's time to
get our lives back a little bit.
Yeah.
Prosecutors said Queen and Bailey Despot tortured and killed Micah over a stolen gun, then dismembered his body in March of 2018. The defense, however, argued it was Despot who, in the middle of a scuffle, dropped a 40-pound dumbbell on Micah's head, killing him. Despot hasn't been seen since. Queen took the stand, admitting to cutting up Micah's body to help cover up the death, and even led police around the county in the middle of the trial to places he supposedly buried parts of Micah.
Honestly, I really felt led around during the middle of the trial, during the break. I think some of that was manipulation on the part of the defendant, because nothing was found of any value. And maybe in 5 years there will be a foot or an arm. I mean, this is going to go on for a long time.
The trial included gruesome pictures of what remains have been found, but the Holsenbakes say it was important they were there for all of it.
I was there in the beginning, and I needed to be there just to witness the end of his body, I guess. I don't know.
The mixed verdict also included not guilty verdicts on multiple assault charges. However, Queen was convicted of a kidnapping in 2019 and threatening and assaulting Megan Farmer in 2018. He was convicted on most of the firearm-related offenses contained in the 35 charges filed against him.
This has been a very difficult case. If you look at this poster, this was a poster that Sergeant Chad Garrett held back at our Victims March in 2019 before this case was solved. And we brought it out today to show that there is hope for all victims and unsolved crimes. And again, we're just very, very happy about the verdict.
17's Maddie Jansen reporting. Matthew Queen's sentencing is set for June 7th. Meantime, there is still a warrant out for Bailey's arrest. That's if she's found alive. And in your 17 Crime Watch today, shocking revelations about the man accused of dragging a woman into a secluded area off Ming Avenue on Monday and sexually assaulting her. Turns out he is a notorious sex offender, a rapist who terrorized Bakersfield in the 1980s, only recently released from a decades-long prison sentence. 58-year-old Sergio Venegas was arrested on Tuesday on suspicion of assaulting the woman at knife point on Ming Avenue near Newstein Road. 33 years ago, Venegas was dubbed the supermarket rapist after a series of kidnappings and rapes at local grocery stores. He is the first person in Kern County convinced with the help of DNA evidence. Sergio Venegas was suspected of at least 6 assaults in supermarket parking lots around Bakersfield in the 80s. He was charged and convicted only for a separate rape at the Red Lion Inn in 1989. Then Deputy District Attorney Lisa Green prosecuted the case, securing a conviction using DNA evidence for the first time in the county's history. But the conviction was overturned 3 years later due to mistakes with the DNA. He was retried and reconvicted in 1999 and sentenced to 56 years in prison. Venegas was paroled in July after serving 30 years. At the time of the sexual assault this week, he was still on parole. State data says he posed a high risk of offending again. And Bakersfield police have identified the driver suspected in a deadly hit-and-run crash this week in southwest Bakersfield. The crash happened around Tuesday, 8:45 p.m. on Ming Avenue near Pinyon Springs Circle. According to police, 31-year-old Eric Miles was driving an SUV that collided with a Jeep. 2 people were inside the Jeep. The driver was killed. Officials say Miles is wanted for vehicular manslaughter, a probation violation, and driving on a suspended license for a prior DUI. Anyone with information on Miles' whereabouts is asked to call Bakersfield Police at 661-327-7111.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Around the nation, tomorrow is a day for mint juleps, fascinators, and cigars, all for the fastest 2 minutes in sports. "20 horses and their jockeys will compete in the $3 million Kentucky Derby tomorrow. The favorite horse for tomorrow's race, Epicenter, but 3 other horses have similar odds. Needless to say, it will be a close and exciting race, and you can see it all right here on TV 17. That starts at 11:30 tomorrow. It was a costly day yesterday for investors on Wall Street. The Dow plunged more than 1,000 points, about 3%, while the S&P 500 dropped 3.5%, and NASDAQ fell a whopping 4.7%. It is the worst day of the year for U.S. markets. It wipes out the surge by stocks on Wednesday when the Dow jumped more than 900 points. Yesterday's sell-off followed Wednesday's news the Federal Reserve would hike interest rates by 0.5 point. The central bank is hoping the interest rate increase will curb skyrocketing inflation. World stocks followed Wall Street lower today as fear spread that U.S. interest rate hikes to fight inflation might stall economic growth. Well, now to the latest COVID-19 case numbers here in Kern County. Kern County Public Health updating their dashboard this morning to show 267 positive cases and 9 new deaths attributed to the virus. That is a total of 2,395 Kern residents lost. State data showing we have 21 patients hospitalized with the virus in Kern County, with 3 listed in intensive care units.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.